Thank you very much, Belfast. Thank you very, very much. Back in 2000, Boyzone decided to take a bit of a break. It lasted a little longer than we expected, but when we did eventually reunite in late 2007, those first 2 years were probably the best 2 years that we have ever had together in the entirety of our career as Boyzone. And obviously, Stephen Gately was a huge part of that. Now just to tell you a little bit about him, he was an absolutely wonderful man. He was a very kind man, a very colourful man, and a very humorous man as well. He had a wicked sense of humour. And it was our job at any given time, on any given day, to try and find out exactly which humour he was in, you see. And Keith has a good little story on that one.
A good story? I have a bloody million stories to tell on that one. But I'll try to remember one off the cuff, Mick, alright? No, Steve was great, you know. And like anybody in the world, some people get out of the bed the wrong side some days. And Stephen was no different. Now, some people get out of the wrong side of the bed more times than others. Do you know what I mean, lads? But we won't go there, alright? But anyway, Stephen was great, but if you got him on that off day, honestly, he'd kill you. He'd murder you. In fact, Shannon knows all about it. There was a story in the newspapers a few years ago. And sometimes these stories in the newspapers are great because they make you out to be much bigger and better than you ever thought you were yourself anyway. And other times, they rip you to shreds. But Stephen liked this particular story because the story read that he was after getting himself a part in Baywatch. And he was delighted. All he could do was vision himself running down in his red Speedos with his little red me thing under, alongside the Hoff. You could just see him on the Hoff, running alongside together now.
That's a lovely run.
Huh?
It's a lovely run.
You like that, did you? That was slow motion. Spent like a $6 million man. Thank you. Anyway, obviously journalists and DJs read this story and it became a bit of a whirlwind, and we start getting asked about it in interviews. And we got fed up with that. So one day they said, so Stephen, tell us about this part in Baywatch. And every day he made up a different story, loving it, you know. But Shane jumped in and he said, yeah, he got a part in Baywatch. He's playing a Lilo. That's what we thought. No.
Real bad idea.
Wrong day.
I got him in a bad humour that day. 6 months the wee fella didn't talk to me for.
6 months he didn't talk to me.
Nothing funny about it.
Now, Stephen, I don't know if anybody knows, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Stephen was the only gay in the band. Now, you'd imagine, I mean, I think you might agree with me if I was to say that us four lads are your average alpha males. Stop twisting the arm here, will you? I'm trying to make a point here. So you'd imagine with Stephen being gay, he'd be quite a butch gay man because of his brothers. No. Quite the opposite, in fact. He had the four of us, the campus boy band in the 90s. Isn't that right, lads? You know what I mean, Shannon?
Belfast? Seriously, I don't know what that batch is talking about.
You do that too well.
Too well, man.
You do that too good.
That was good. I was impressed with that shot.
I was practicing.
Steel had many names for us. Some of them I can't repeat on stage tonight, but down the end here you have Kizzy.
Hi!
This is Michaela. You met the lovely Shanice. Yeah. And I, of course, am Rosalind. Get me here on Tuesday. And he, of course, was Stephanie. Thank you. We were lucky enough in the last few years to record some brand new songs with Steel. And in my view, they were probably the best vocals he ever recorded. In particular, this one. This is better.